Good morning and welcome back, students. So, welcome you all to class 11 science once again. So, we'll be starting our classes today. र फर्स्टमा हामीले एक दुईवटा कुरा इन्ट्रोडक्टरी कुराहरू गरौँ, त्यसको बादमा चाहिँ हामी अगाडि बढ्नेछौँ. सो आवर जर्नी over the next 2 years is going to be very interesting, and we will be studying a lot of new concepts. And in class 11, I'm sure जुन चाहिँ मैले WhatsAppमा तिमीहरूलाई सिलेबस पठाइदिएको थिएँ, I'm sure you must have gone through it by now. So if you have seen the syllabus, you'll see that there are 5 units that we have to cover in class 11. So the first unit is that of diversity in living organisms. So that is for 15 marks. Weightage is of 15 marks for the diversity of living organisms. Under this, we have 4 chapters. One is the living world, which we are going to start today. The second one is biological classification. Then third one, plant kingdom. And fourth one, animal kingdom. So this is in unit 1. Then unit 2, that is on structural organization in plants and animals. Isko weightage 8 marks. Third unit, cell structure and function. It has a weightage of 15 marks, so it has more weightage here again. Then unit 4 is on plant physiology, 15 marks weightage. And finally, unit 5, that is human physiology, of 17 marks weightage. So total becomes 70 marks. So this 70 is your theory. Okay. Another very important thing that some students were asking this morning is that जुन चाहिँ मैले तिमीहरूलाई सिलेबस पठाएको छु त्यसमा 4 chapters have been removed by the board, CBSE board, this year because of the coronavirus pandemic. Rest we have 18 chapters. 18 chapters चाहिँ हामीले सबै complete गर्नै पर्छ. So students, let us now come back to the topic, the first chapter, that is the living world. So living world भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ we need to understand what is living, what are the characteristics of living or living organisms. So we'll first try to understand these characteristics. The living world is really, really wonderful. If we look around, we find a number of plants, animals, a wide variety of or a range of living organisms, different types, different forms, different habitats. Forest देखि लिएर glaciers देखि लिएर पनि हामी microorganismsहरू पाउँछौँ. Deep under the sea also we find living organisms. We find living organisms also in the air, and there is a wide variety of living organisms which have adapted themselves to survive in different habitats, different areas or different localities. Now, when we say living, के कुराले चाहिँ living बनाउँछ? What is the thing that makes a certain thing live? Okay, or what is the difference between living and non-living? In other words, say for example, we have a mice and it shows living properties, and we have this table. This table is non-living. So यो यसको non-living किन छ र एउटा mice चाहिँ किन living छ? What are the properties that makes it living? So that is what we are going to discuss. Obviously, you know of certain different characteristics of living organisms जुन चाहिँ तिमीहरूले सानो क्लासमा पढेरै आइरहेको छौ. So like the characteristics of living organisms in terms of growth, in terms of reproduction. Living organisms have a definite lifespan. Living organisms die. Living organisms can reproduce. Living organisms can respond to stimuli, and all these different characteristics that you have actually studied. So today we are going to revisit 1 or 2, 3 points here. The first one, and that is being growth. So one very important property of living organism is that living organisms grow. So living organisms grow भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ यहाँ एउटा very important thing हामीले जान्नु पर्ने कुरा चाहिँ के छ? Living organisms grow, yes, that is true, but growth in living organisms हामीले हेर्यो भने र नन लिभिङ अर्गनिजम्समा पनि कम्पेयर गऱ्यो भने वी फाइन्ड द्याट नन लिभिङ थिङ्स, okay, it is better to use non-living things also grow. Living organisms also grow, non-living things also grow. Okay, so I will give you a certain specific example. हामीलाई यादै छ living organisms grow. We have grown over the years. Like whatever was your body size is bigger this year than as compared to last year. Lockdown को अगाडि भन्दा अहिले obviously सबैजना के भएको छ, बढेको छ. So the number of cells in our body has increased, our body size has increased, our body mass has increased. So that is growth. We are growing in terms of size. Okay, and यो growth चाहिँ मैले यहाँ लेखेको छु नन डिफाइनिङ. I'll give explanation of what is this later on. तर यहाँ मैले भन्नु चाहेको चाहिँ के छ, non-living things also grow. So one specific example of non-living things that grow, I put it here on paper. Say for example, in this figure you see this is the apparatus that has been set up. This is a stand, okay, and with the help of a thread we have fixed a small crystal of sodium chloride, that is common salt. Okay, common salt को crystal लाई thread सँग attach गरेर हामीले यहाँ hang गरेको छ. And in this beaker we have concentrated sodium chloride solution. This is common salt. Okay, that is concentrated. एकदम हामीले यसलाई highly concentrated बनाएको छ. And then how we make concentrated sodium chloride solution? We boil water and add sodium chloride to it, and we go on adding and stirring the sodium chloride until no further sodium chloride will get dissolved. So it becomes concentrated sodium chloride solution. So यो solution मा चाहिँ हामीले के hang गर्यो, with the help of a thread. Okay, we have put here a sodium chloride crystal, and then say for example this is at presently at 100 degrees centigrade. We take out of this after the setup is made, and we remove the heat from here, and we allow it to cool, say for up to 20 degrees centigrade सम्म हामीले cool गर्यो भने चाहिँ के हुन थाल्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ यहाँ जुन चाहिँ बाहिर सोडियम क्लोराइड डिजोल्भ भएको छ, that sodium chloride will start getting deposited outside the crystal of sodium chloride. So, and when the temperature reduces here in the beaker, then the size of the crystal will grow. So here we find that this is a non-living thing, but it is also growing. One important thing that we need to know here is that this growth is external. Isko growth is external. It is growing only on outside, not from inside. But for living organisms, there lies the difference. For living organisms, the growth is internal. It is from within, and it is irreversible. Living organisms grow internally from within, and the growth is irreversible. We are not going to reduce in height, for example. Okay, but here, if you see this case, the size of the salt crystal is growing, and it can be reversed. Now, if here I have written it reverses back if we increase the temperature. Now, if we again start heating this and we boil it, okay, then the salt that was deposited outside will again start dissolving, and the size of the crystal will decrease. So that means the growth in non-living is reversible, whereas the growth in living organisms is irreversible. So this is one very important difference in terms of growth. र त्यसले गर्दा हामी यहाँ देख्दैछौँ कि growth can take place in both living as well as non-living. So हामीले we cannot take growth as an exclusive criteria for the living property. So त्यसले गर्दा we term it as growth is a non-defining property of living organisms. Growth भयो भन्दैमा चाहिँ living organisms भन्नु सकिँदैन, किनभने non-living things also grow. Okay, so now coming back to growth in living, growth takes place because of mitotic cell divisions. There is mitotic cell division that is taking place inside the cells, because of which the number of cells will increase, and it will lead to increase in the body mass. This is in multicellular organisms. Now when we talk about unicellular organisms भन्यो भने चाहिँ अब तिनीहरूको त मल्टिसेलुलर हुँदैन बडीमा, गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ ग्रोथ कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ the number of cells will increase, with the population of cells will increase. So that itself is growth. Okay, so we can define say for example growth in bacteria to be the increase in the number of the population of bacteria. जति बेसी bacteria को number बढ्यो हामी त्यसलाई भन्छौं bacteria has grown in terms grown भनौं है. So this is how there is a slight difference in growth in multicellular as well and unicellular organisms. Unicellular मा हुन्छ हामी population हेर्छौं, multicellular मा हुन्छ body mass हेर्छौं है growth बुझ्नुको लागि. Then the other one, the next characteristics, that is reproduction. Reproduction again I have written as non-defining. So if an organism does not reproduce, obviously it is not going to die. Okay, so बिहा गरेन भने मान्छे मर्दैन. I'm sure you understand this now. Okay, so then reproduction is very important in terms of survival of the species, for species to continue, to propagate and continue. So it is very, very important, but it is not important for the survival of an individual. It is needed for survival of the species, not the individual. Then reproduction is of two types. We already know asexual reproduction, where there is no involvement of male and female gametes, and sexual reproduction where male and female gametes are involved, or male and female individuals are involved. Then asexual reproduction, we already know there are so many different types of asexual reproduction: budding, spore formation, fragmentation, regeneration. You have all studied this in class 10. Okay, त्यसको बादमा हामीले अझै भेजिटेटिभ प्रोपागेसन भनेर पढेको छौं, कटिङ, लेयरिङ, ग्राफ्टिङ. But for vegetative propagation it is done by humans, okay, by human interference. So again this reproduction is non-defining. Just the growth non-defining थियो, okay, the growth was also non-defining feature of living organism, and similarly reproduction is also a non-defining feature. Now the other very important, the most important one, that is consciousness. Living organisms have consciousness. Okay, so in the sense that we know that living organisms can respond to stimuli, certain stimulus, maybe heat, cold, touch, okay, light, gravity, water, all this could be act as a stimulus. So यो stimulus सँग चाहिँ living organism ले के गर्छ, respond गर्छ. So therefore they are known as this is the defining property of living organisms. So living organisms have consciousness. So when we say living organisms have consciousness, just like I have shown here written as light, so we know that light plants respond to light. जब हामीले potted plant लाई हामीले खिड्कीको छेउमा राख्यौं भने this potted plant will start turning towards the direction of light. That is called phototropism. The movement of the response of the plant okay to sunlight, that can be called as phototrophism. So the growth is taking place towards the direction of light. Similarly, the growth of the roots of the plant will always grow towards the direction of gravity, that is under the ground. Okay, so and stem will always move opposite to the direction of gravity. So that is known as geotrophism. And touch, like the touch-me-not plant, okay, Mimosa pudica scientifically. So when we touch the leaflets will close. So this closing of the leaflets is because of touch. That means this particular plant, touch-me-not plant, has consciousness. Okay. Similarly, animals have more well-developed consciousness. We can feel touch. Okay, so because we have more advanced nervous system, so त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ animals have better consciousness than plants. So therefore we say this consciousness is a defining feature of living organism. This consciousness is absent in other words in non-living things. यो consciousness नै non-living things मा छैन. So therefore we call consciousness as a defining feature. Another characteristic feature of living organisms, a very important one, is metabolism. We say there are so many different metabolic reactions that is taking place in our body. So by this we mean that there are a large number of reactions that is taking place. Certain chemicals are being made and certain chemicals are being broken down inside our cells. Okay, so this process of making and breaking of different chemicals that is needed in the body, so that is known as metabolism. So metabolism दुई खालको हुन्छ, एउटा anabolism हामी भन्छौँ. Anabolism means the making of up reaction. Okay, certain substances are made, like in plants photosynthesis, where starch is made. So this glucose or starch that is made, so it is made by a process known as, the reaction is itself known as anabolism. So त्यो भयो photosynthesis, in other words, is an example of anabolism. So अर्को चाहिँ respiration, for example, glucose is broken down inside our cells and it is used for release of energy or ATP, so that is known as catabolism. So this is a breaking down reaction. So as a whole, anabolism as well as catabolism is collectively known as metabolism, and this is another very important property of living organisms which is not found in non-living things. Okay, so these are the different properties of living organisms, which is very, very important. Now moving forward, at the start of the classes I was talking about the range of biodiversity. हामी mountains मा गयो भने, forest मा गयो भने, lake मा गयो भने, we find bewildering variety of living organisms. That is the most important thing about fascinating thing about living organisms. We are really fascinating. Okay, it's really fascinating for us to see the diversity of living organisms. 80 different colors, 80 different shapes and sizes, varieties of living organisms. So this diversity in the form of living organisms was known as, and a term was coined for this, and it was known as biodiversity. And this term was coined by a person named W.G. Rosen, and it was popularized by Edward Wilson. Okay, so a new term biodiversity came up in the 1980s. And talking more about the biodiversity, the extreme ranges of biodiversity estimates, there are estimates which say that there could be up to 50 million species of plants and animals and all different forms of life on earth. That is the extreme estimate, higher estimate. So तर एउटा कन्जर्भेटिभ एस्टिमेटमा आउँदा पनि, अलिकति रियलिस्टिक एस्टिमेटमा आउँदा पनि, so up to 7 million species, okay, yeah, I've shown 7 million species of living organisms are there on earth. Okay, so now among the 7 million species of living organisms, how many has been described? Okay, described means त्यसलाई हामीले आइडेन्टिफाई गरे, त्यसलाई चिन्छ, त्यसको लाइफ साइकल हामीलाई याद छ, त्यसको body features, characteristics हामीलाई याद छ, how it reproduces, we have noted down, we have recorded all details. त्यसको habitat देखि लिएर त्यो चाहिँ कति डिस्क्राइब भएको छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ only 1.5 million species have been described so far. Okay, so that means more than 5.5 million species are yet to be described, okay, and identified. But the sad thing is that this 5.5 million species is getting extinct before it is getting described and identified. हामीले त्यसलाई चिन्नु अगाडि नै त्यो के हुँदैछ, it is getting extinct because of the loss of biodiversity, because we are cutting down the trees, we are destroying the environment, and because of that this loss of biodiversity is taking place even before it is being described. So I would like to wind up today's class. अलिकति छोटो क्लास हो यो, so you should be expecting a longer duration class from next time. Okay, so because this was an introductory class, so I have made only a shorter video, maybe of 19-20 minutes. So with this, I would like to thank all of you boys, and I want all of you to follow the lectures meticulously, regularly follow गरेर. If you have any questions, feel free and put it up in my personal WhatsApp. Okay, यो biology ग्रुपमा हाल्दा पनि हुन्छ. That would be more helpful, because other students may also have the same question. So you can put your questions in the biology group itself, so I can answer, so others will also benefit from your questions and my answers. So with this, let us wind up today. Thank you boys, and see you again.